Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Atlanta Thrashers franchise mode here in NHL 21. So in last episode, we took on the Ottawa Senators in the first round of the playoffs, and unfortunately, we lost in 7 games after having a 3-1 series lead. It really sucks that we blew it, but I mean, hopefully it's a good year for next year, but this team has still been kind of really streaky in terms of the playoffs because like we've made it to the conference finals a few years back, and then all ever since then we've been kind of taking one step forward, two steps back type of mentality. So I'm really hoping that this team could turn it around next season. And also the main reason why we lost is because we were not scoring enough goals, as well as carry price was not that great in the last 3 games of the series, allowing 4 goals each in those games. But as you can see with our playoff stats, like some of these guys did not put up enough points. Like Houghton was pretty good, but Bergeron had a really bad playoffs. 3 points in 7 games after having 89 points in 82 games during the regular season. And then also Evgeny Malkin was really quiet. 2 points in 7 games and 1 goal only. So yeah, Malkin really needed to pick it up. He had 33 goals in the regular season, but he could not pick up one in the playoffs. Or he only picked up one in the playoffs. And then Ilya Kovalchuk as well was really quiet for the most part. He was probably the best of the 3 veteran players, but he only had 1 goal in 7 games, and that 1 goal came in game number 1. He was only shooting 3.4% in that series, so a lot of our guys just did not give enough in terms of scoring. Kemp was really good for us. He was probably our best player, being over point per game because of all those assists. But as you can see with like our forward core, pretty much we had Camilleri, Bergeron, and Houghton scored more than 1 goal, and then everybody else scored 1 and below, which is not good enough, obviously, with this team. And then in terms of our defense wasn't too bad for the most part. Like at least like Ferguson, Kondratyov was really good though when he did play, but then he got injured, and that kind of made us lose a lot of games. Martinez was decent, but then you go to like Brody and Connolly, who were horrible defensively, -5 and -4, and then Jalen Wall was an even 0. Also, Gugnot was in the NHL, but for some reason it doesn't have him here. But Gugnot also played 3 games and was a -3 when Kondratyov was out. So maybe Gugnot is not the right person for the defensive core. I don't know, but yeah, in general, our team just did not perform the way we was hoping to. It started off pretty good, but then it ended really badly. So hopefully we could bounce back next year and go for another playoff run. But hopefully we could maybe get to a Stanley Cup Finals next year, because this team should really be better than that. And I also actually predicted that the Sens would win the Stanley Cup after beating us in 7 games. So. But anyways, let's get into the draft in the Resign Stage. I'm trying to make these episodes kind of as short and concise as possible, because obviously I got to pre-record a lot of videos for when I'm gone. You guys would be seeing this when it's probably I'm already in BC at this point in time. So okay, so Philly, Detroit, Columbus, Montreal, and Anaheim have the top 5 picks. We have, I think, number 23, isn't it? No, we have number 26. Damn, that's a really late round pick. So we're probably not going to get anything huge. Hopefully we could still get a top 6 forward or a top 4 defenseman, not a top 9 or a top 6 D-man, because that would not be great. So Philadelphia with the first overall pick is going to take Leeson, who is an 82 sniper, so that's a pretty good pickup for them. Obviously needing some goal scoring probably, so this guy might be a future Maurice Richard winner. The Montreal Canadiens at number 2, even though they knocked us out last year in the playoffs, are going to take Negrin, who is a sniper as well, but he's a centerman. Interesting. Not as good at shooting as Leeson, but still pretty good. Columbus at number 3 is going to take Cirelli. Yeah, I think that's Cirelli, an offensive defenseman, so that's actually a pretty nice one for Columbus. Yeah, this guy is probably going to be a future Norris winner at some point. Detroit at number 4 is going to take Heinrich, who's another playmaker. And Anaheim at number 5 is going to take Tangradi. So this draft class doesn't look super strong for the most part. Like the first 2 picks were decent, but everything else is like not as good. Like these 2 are also probably NHL ready players in this type of franchise mode, but a 68 top 6 at 5th overall is really not that great. So we might not be getting a really good prospect in with this draft, but whatever. Yeah, see, there's already top 9s going in this first round, so we might end up just auto-simming a lot of this draft because there's like not a lot available. So Hopefully this Glenn guy's at top 640. He's probably going to be at top 9 though. There's also some defensemen. Michel Belanger. We should probably maybe go for a defenseman. Maxime Sevret, maybe 4 years away. So he's probably a top 6 defenseman. And goalie that's supposed to go in the late first round. That's kind of intriguing. But do I really want to take a goaltender? I might. Because we do have a lot of... because we do probably need to replace like Jackson Robbins in the AHL at some point. So maybe I'll go for that goaltender. Or there's Glenn that I go with. Wait, what was Glenn's... His weaknesses are only shot utilization in his hands. Or we go with Belanger. We don't really know much about Chubasov at all, so... We only know his stats from when he played. I don't know if I would take a goalie in the first round, but he might be... but he might be a medium elite player. Who knows? I think I'm going to go with Glenn, just because... Yeah, we could probably use somebody to replace, like, Henricius or something at some point. So we'll bring in Glenn, see how good he is. And he is a top 9, 62 grinder. Damn, some grinders going in the first round is really weird as well. Yeah, this is not a great draft, I would say. I want to see how good that goalie is. So the offensive defenseman was a top 6, and that goalie was a medium elite goalie. I was figuring he was probably going to be medium elite, but oh well. We don't technically need a goalie since we have Carey Price, but we probably should find somebody to replace him. Hopefully this guy doesn't become like the next Patrick Wall, though. Let's simulate to the next pick in the draft, the second round. We're probably going to auto-sim a lot of this draft just because there is not a lot of good players in it. Yeah, because we're already getting like players that are like completely C-level players, like this Sagan guy that are supposed to go in the second round. He might be a 7th defenseman. This might be one of the worst drafts I've seen. This guy looks okay. He's got ace senses, but he doesn't have an ETA and stuff like that. So I probably would go with him just based on that. This guy might have some good shooting. But everything else is crap about this dude, pretty much. Yeah, there's not a lot of good players in this draft at all. I think I'm going to take a chance with this Harrison dude. Just because I have no idea what else to get. So he's the low top 6 playmaker. That's not terrible. 63 overall as well at 17 is not bad. Hopefully he develops into being something decent. His defensive awareness is really bad though. So I don't know how good of a player he's actually going to simulate like. Let's do our third round pick now if there's actually anything cool. There's more low top 6s, so we might end up taking that. Or actually I think I might go with Wesley Blackburn because he might be a low elite defenseman and he has no weakness according to this, and he might be an offensive defenseman. Yeah, we're going to take Wesley Blackburn. See how good he is. And he's a low top 4 offensive defenseman. 60 overall. That's not terrible. 60 overall at 18 for a low top 4. This guy might end up being a good offensive defenseman at some point. As long as he develops well. And sim to our next pick because we have another third rounder still. There's a gem apparently in this goalie. A lot of D's though. So it's not really a gem in my book. Yeah, I might auto-sim like the rest of this draft because this is not looking that good. This might be one of the worst draft classes I've seen. I might go with Seabrook though because of those B's. Yeah, let's just go with Seabrook. Might as well. And he's a medium top 9 as well. 59 overall playmaker. That's not too bad. So this draft class isn't super weak, but it's not nowhere near that strong. We're getting offered a 5th and a 6th for our 4th round pick, which I'm not going to do that. Maybe a medium top 6 in Langdon. Okay, this guy looks intriguing. 2 years away as well, and he's 20 years old, so maybe we'll take him. Yeah, I think he might be the obvious choice here. Or is it defenseman? No, I don't think I need him. I'm going to take a Langdon, even though he's 20 years old, and he's 2 years away apparently. 67 overall power forward. That's not too bad either. But he is already 20 years old, so hopefully he develops well. And maybe he could become an NHL player at some point, or an AHL top 6. Our next pick, I might just auto-sim some stuff soon. High starter potentially. This guy's got an E. Damn, this guy's terrible. E reflexes, E puck control, and D athletic. This guy's probably like a 47 overall, my guess. And I don't really think we should take a 47 overall player. Yeah, I don't really know what to go with in this draft anymore. Yeah, I'm going to auto-sim the rest of this draft because it looks way too weak for me to actually understand what is good and what isn't. So we'll just sim the rest of that. So the computer got us, after Langdon, they got us Kaupinen, Garnett, McClement, and Hornquist. Interesting. Hopefully those are some decent prospects, but it's kind of hard to tell when the draft class is that weak. So we got to get back some scouts, so we'll go re-sign them. Sign up our Liga scout, and I think it was also, yep, SHL, and then there was like a WHL and an OHL, wasn't it? Oh yeah, we have a scout retire, I think, that we need to get a new one of. I think we did. I think we lost like a Russian scout that I'll have to find a new one of. Why do we have 2 scouts in QMJHL? But yeah, we do need a Russian scout technically, but that's probably why we didn't know anything about that goaltender prospect. Okay, so the resign stage, who do we got to get back again? Let's see, so let's go to the bottom of this list and let go of some of the prospects that we're not going to be signing. So Bancroft, for example. D. Nicola is not great enough, unfortunately. This Nielsen dude's a decent overall at 22, but he's only got 7th D potential. I mean, I could still sign him up. He was a 7th round pick, so might as well do that. Actually, do we have the contract space for that? Probably not. I might have to let go of some players in the AHL now. In that sense, I'll also sign this Moore dude. So I'm going to have to let go of definitely some AHL players, which in that case, we're going to have to let go of a defenseman. So Prust is going to go. And we're going to also let go of Rowe, because he's a forward. Because I'll prioritize the RFAs from the AHL, which I'll qualify pretty much all of them. Let's go back to the top of this, though, and get some of the NHL players done. So, starting off with Ivanov. Ivanov is probably going to take over Henrich's spot on the 3rd line, so we'll give him a 3-year deal. Yeah, 3-year deal looks decent. 4.7, 4.5. See if you could do that. 3 years at 4.5. And then also we need to get Ferguson on a good deal. I think Ferguson needs to be here for a long time. He wants 6 years, so that's good for me. We'll talk him down to 5.3 for 6 years. See if he can do that. And yeah, that's pretty much RFAs. I think we have done a lot of them. Oh, there's Gugnaut as well. How much does Gugnaut want? He wants just over $1 million. I could probably do that. Only for 1 year though, so we'll do 1 year, $1 million. And yeah, we'll pretty much qualify everybody else in the system. Just because I don't want to give them all one-way deals. But it seems like every single year they want a one-way deal. Even when they're not even close to being an NHL player in my eyes. So we'll qualify all these guys up. And that is good. And then goalie-wise, we don't have any RFAs. UFA-wise, I think we should probably let go of some of these AHL players. So I think, yeah, we're going to let go of Abney because I think he's been used as a healthy scratch. I am going to sign Easton Hill into a one-way deal because I think I'm going to use this guy as a depth forward potentially this year because last year he won the AHL scoring race, I'm pretty sure. So we'll sign him up. I don't care if I'm giving some of these guys one-way deals, but okay, so yeah, let's get Christie as well for the AHL. 950. Okay, so top of this list, Mike Camilleri. I like Mike Camilleri, so I think I'm going to get him back. 3 years isn't terrible because he's 31. And we will probably try and talk him down to like 6.1. Houghton, I wouldn't mind keeping around as well because he's not too bad. Let's do a 2-year deal, maybe 3-year deal. Yeah, 3-year deal and see if I can get him down to like 5.5. And then Kondrayev, unfortunately, his injury really sucked last year. I don't know if we should bring him back. Okay, so I'm not sure if we should bring back Kondrayev because we obviously need to get Gugnaut into the lineup, so I'm not too sure. How was Kondrayev last year? 20 points and a plus 20. I do really like his defensive play. but he doesn't really do anything in the playoffs in terms of offense either. You know what? I think I'm going to still try and sign him up, but I might end up flipping him at some point. So I'll try a 4-year deal and try and give him like 5.6. And then Frolov I could always replace with Scavello, but I don't really know if we want Scavello to play, because Scavello hasn't really done much when he has played. So yeah, I think I'm going to let go of Scavello and find a new depth center, and I am going to sign back Frolov again, because Frolov actually could put up a decent amount of points. So we'll try a 1-year deal, see if he wants to do that. And then Bobrovsky was more of the depth option, so we'll just sign him up maybe for 2 years as a depth forward. Maybe he plays in the AHL, I don't know. And DeAndre Brody, I think I would bring him back as well because he's only 26. 2-year deal, let's try 2 years at 5.1. And then goalie wise, we got some questions to do with goaltending. Do we even have any AHL goalies then at this stage? We do not. Oh, we still have a medium elite goalie prospect. Actually, that's one that the computer just drafted us. So, yeah, we got to try and get both these guys back if we can. And I think I almost want to play Robbins this year as our backup behind Carey Price, because maybe our goaltending's too good and that's why we've been losing. So I think even though Brian Elliott has been probably the better of the two goalies, yeah, he's been probably the better of the two goalies. He's been better than Carey Price. Do I sign him or no? He doesn't actually want a whole lot of money, surprisingly. I could sign both of these guys back up again, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll do a 1-year deal, give him a little bit more because he might reject. And then Robbins as well, I'm going to try and get him back. But I don't really know what we're going to do with our goaltending situation, because I wouldn't mind getting Robbins in. And Carey Price has been our worst goalie, so maybe we could run Brian Elliott and Robbins and trade away Price. I know it sounds weird, but I'm honestly thinking about it, because the way he's been playing in the playoffs has not been good enough. But maybe if we could get the right team together, maybe he will be okay. And then unsigned wise, we're not going to sign anybody yet, but looks like some good development is happening, which is good. Okay, so let's advance a day. Let's actually go back to the UFA thing and advance a day and see if we get everybody back, which hopefully we do. If there's anybody we still need to get, then we'll re-sign them up. Let's just go through this as fast as possible. Looks like a lot of people are renewing their contracts. So the only ones that rejected are Bobrovsky and Christie for UFAs, and then RFA-wise, those guys are all qualified, which is good. Okay, so we pretty much only need to... I could let go of Christie, I think. When did we even draft this guy? 3rd round. He's been in the AHL a long time, and he's actually a pretty good, looks like, offensive defenseman. So I'm going to try and still sign him up for the AHL. Let's just give him what he wants, see if he'll accept that. And then Bobrovsky doesn't seem to want to accept yet. Let's try and give him what he wants as well. Advance a day, and we did not get any of them back again. You know what, I think we're going to let go of Bobrovsky, because I think Easton Hill will be our new depth forward to replace him. So best of luck in free agency Bobrovsky, and we're going to also let Christie go, I guess, because he doesn't want to come back. And then all these RFAs still need to sign up. So let's see, what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 9. Yeah, only 9 RFAs, which means we'd be at 45 contracts once we get these all guys signed back up, which means we have 5 contract spaces actually available to make some noise in free agency if we want to. So let's take a look at what we got before we actually head into free agency. So in terms of centers, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's pretty solid. 6, 7 in left wing, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh yeah, Pispinen is going to jump into the lineup. So I think Henricius might get traded, but that's 11 already. And then 12, 13, 14 with Hillen. So yeah, I think what we got to do is we're going to probably trade away Henricius. And then we'd probably be using Easton Hillen as a depth forward. And Pispinen would be taking Henricius' roster spot. Yeah, I think that's what we'd be doing. Ivanov would be going up in the lineup as well. And then defensively, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7 as well. Yeah, we're good on defense. And goaltending, we're fine as well. So we pretty much only need to maybe get a depth forward, and then also trade away Henricius just to get our youngster Pispinen into the lineup, because I would rather Pispinen play than be in an AHL, I think. And maybe that will make us a worse team to an extent that will help us be a better team in the playoffs, because maybe we're simulating too good in the regular season, as weird as that sounds. Okay, let's go to sign free agents and see what's available. So in terms of depth players, we'd probably need a depth center, so we could always bring back Scavella, but I don't know if we will. I'll be doing this stuff in the next episode, but I'm still just going to take a look and see what's available. So there's some 24-year-old, is he a UFA? No, he's an RFA. Let's go to all UFAs just to make this a little bit easier. But yeah, just trying to find a depth forward. This guy's 25, this guy's 24 as well. We're looking for somebody that might end up being like a hidden gem. Like this guy had 34 points in his first season, which is not too bad, but he was a minus 15. So former first round pick, doesn't have the greatest attributes, but he's a two-way. Bonnet, because I'm gonna have to make these decisions on my own on who I want to pick up. This guy might fit all forward lines, so this guy actually might be the perfect option. Yeah, I think this is definitely gonna be the dude we're gonna sign in the next episode, just because of the fact that he could potentially fit all lines. Even though he only has bottom 6 potential, he actually has some decent attributes, so I think that's definitely who I'm gonna sign next episode as our depth option. And then we don't really need anything else. Let's take a look at some trades that we could do for Henricius. I'll probably just flip them for picks. Let's go find trade. And left wingers. Where is Henricius? He's a left winger, right? Yeah, there he is. He has no value, hardly. It kind of sucks. Nobody's interested in making a trade for him, according to the trade finder. But let's just take a look at what teams are interested in Vesa Henricius, and then that'll be it for this episode. But I don't know if we'll be able to flip him away. If we can't flip him away, it's not the end of the world, because we could always, like, I don't know, we could always just play him to the deadline and then flip him if need be. But it looks like Anaheim, Buffalo, Carolina, Colorado. Yeah, there's a lot of interest actually across the entire league, so we should be able to find a trade in next episode for Henricius, so. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Atlanta Thrashers franchise mode. So in next episode, we will do some free agent signings, and we'll also start up the season simulation as we look to get back to being at least in the conference finals. Hopefully we could get to a cup finals sometime soon. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.